Hi, it's vacation time, and instead of watching cartoons, you switch to this TV show that starts off, wild lights flicker, arcade machines hum, and then out of nowhere, a kid on a bike just vanishes. And you're like, did that kid just get eaten by a Demogorgon? That's how Stranger Things kicks off, and just like that, you're hooked. It's 1983, a time when everything's neon and cassette tapes ruled the world. Then, in 2016, two brothers decide to make a show that's like every 80s movie you've ever loved, but with a twist of mystery, monster, and some seriously retro vibes. Netflix looks at this and says, yeah, this looks confusing and nostalgic enough, let's throw money at it. And just like that, Stranger Things was born. Now, let's talk about the kid who made all this chaos possible. Mike. If anxiety had a face, it'd definitely be his. The kid spends most of his time looking like he's about to face a Demogorgon or a math test. Well, his one job, get kidnapped. And boy, did he do it well. Can we get a trophy for that? Lucas? Someone had to keep their head on straight, right? That's Lucas. The one saying, guys, maybe don't go into that creepy dark forest. There could be monsters in there. And Dustin, the adorable one with a lisp carrying the whole team's charm on his back. It's like, it must have been exhausting, but he makes it look so easy. And then there is 11, a telekinetic, ego-waffle-obsessed science experiment who's only allowed one facial expression, and let's just say 100% more murder powers than your average suburban kid. Oh, and we can't forget Joyce Spires. Trust me, no one could have pulled off that single-mom, professional Christmas light whisperer and inventor of the concept, screaming your child's name into the void solves everything. Better than Miss Girl here. And Chief Hopper? This grumpy chain-smoking teddy bear of a dude who somehow stumbles his way into being America's most loved daddy by Season 3. Season 1, straight-up horror movie, a small town, a missing kid, a creepy lab, and a Demogorgon. That looks like what happens when you leave a Venus flytrap in the oven for too long. It was creepy, thrilling, and confusing enough to make you wonder if you accidentally ate mushrooms before hitting play. And that's not even the best part. Nobody had a single normal reaction to anything. A monster drags your kid into a dimension of hell. You staple Christmas lights to the wall, and what? You vibe with it. And at least that's what Joyce Byers did. Because Hawkins, Indiana, apparently operates under absolute zero common sense as a town character. And yet we loved it. The 80s outfit, the D&D nods, kids cracking government secrets while adults dance with fairy lights. It was ridiculous and somehow perfect. And guess what? We bought every second of it. If you think you could have done better, prove it. Smash like, hit subscribe, and drop your hot takes in the comments. Season 2 rolls around, and surprise, sadly, we still haven't sucked out the trauma from Will, who's still possessed, because now his lifestyle is more trauma than getting kidnapped now. The Upside Down isn't just a creepy old world anymore. It's basically trying to Airbnb Hawkins for yourself. Oh, say hello to Mr. Mind Flayer, the new, bigger, slimier evil that wants to murder everyone. For reasons, well, at least this one has a name. Maybe it just hates small-town diners and good parenting. Who knows? Hey, I don't see them messing with New York. Meanwhile, 11 goes through her rebellious teen phase early because nothing says character development like joining a gang of angsty goth teens in a city and getting a terrible new hairdo because what the heck is that? The internet tries to pretend that episode 7 never happened. Honestly, fair. We all deserve amnesia sometimes in cases like these. Also, justice for Bob Newby, a superhero. Poor Bob shows up being a total golden retriever of a man, teaches Will how to fight the scary monsters, and still ends up getting eaten like a sad side salad. He wasn't even the main course. Ha, this show doesn't care about your feelings. All at Season 3. Oh, colors. Lots of them. Loud. Borderline unhinged. This time, the Demogorgons came back. Okay, no applause for that, but so do mullets, neon malls, and Soviet spies hiding underneath an innocent shopping center because Cold War plot lines are somehow still a big fat joke in the 2020s. The kids, they're not wee toddlers anymore. They're growing up now, aka getting 15% more awkward and 100% more hormonal. Mike and Eleven are making out so much that Hopper's blood pressure becomes the main character. The only thing we don't see changing here is Will's bowel cut. Dustin gets a long-distance girlfriend, Susie, who is real and sings Disney songs with him via walkie-talkie as well. The worst possible moment? Because what better way to save the world like belting out the never-ending story during an actual apocalypse? Anyway, that totally worked for them. Steve Harrington, remember? That douchey popular kid from season 1? Yeah, he somehow became America's babysitter. Turns out, all he needed was to get his ass kicked multiple times to become likable. So this guy goes from being totally unbearable to a heartthrob. Talk about a cool transition. Now he's rocking a sailor uniform, slinging ice cream and delivering emotional support speeches like it's his second job. And let's not forget about Billy, Max's psycho brother whose abs so sculpted you could use them to grade diamonds. And those eyes, don't even get me started on those shades of blue. He gets possessed by the mind flare and finally finds a purpose other than being Hawkins' official shirtless menace. Meanwhile, Russians literally build a secret base under a mall, and somehow not a single adult notices this while shopping for, I don't know, like warmers? Welcome to Hawkins, where the law of physics and common sense took a vacation, like forever. Season 3 finale. Explosions, death, Hopper yeeted into oblivion, everyone cries, everyone moves away. Psych! Hopper's alive because TV shows physically can't kill dad figures without breaking the internet. Cut to Season 4. If you thought things couldn't get any more unhinged, surprise. It's getting full horror movie up in here. We met Vecna, who looks like someone left Voldemort and beef jerky in the microwave for too long. He's haunting teenagers through their trauma because even the monsters are doing psychological warfare now. And we finally get the big reveal. The Upside Down isn't just a random murder playground. It's a haunted hellscape built by a bitter emo kid with superpowers. Oh yeah, Eleven's origin story? Turns out she was in a creepy science daycare, but hey, not alone, with other psychic toddlers, which somehow was less traumatic than high school. Meanwhile, Max steps up. She becomes the emotional core of the entire show, riding around with her Walkman blasting Kate Bush's running up that hill. Because when you're running from literal demon hands, you gotta have a soundtrack. And Eddie Munson, the metalhead king of our hearts, gets introduced. Welcome, Eddie. This man went from weird guy in the cafeteria to the ultimate rock god and tragic hero in the space of 6 episodes. He shreds Metallica in an alternate dimension while literally hellbats attack him. Name another show that would let a character die that metal and still rip your heart out like it's tax season. I'll wait. And because this show loves chaos, it ends Season 4 with Hawkins absolutely fractured like someone dropped it off a shelf. Nobody evacuates, nobody even suggests building a massive wall around the upside-down hole now opening in the middle of the town like a sinkhole to Satan's basement. Nope, everyone's like, let's rebuild the high school gym first. Because Hawkins is nothing if not aggressively bad at priorities. And don't think I forgot about the adults. Joyce, Murray, and Hopper spent half of Season 4 doing an Arctic prison break side quest because the Duffer brothers apparently watched too many Cold War documentaries and said, yes, let's traumatize the parents too. Where are we now? Somewhere between permanent emotional damage and intense nostalgia. The kids are basically adults now. The monsters keep getting grosser, and the number of times you screamed at your TV, "Why are you splitting up?" has hit critical mass. And Season 5 still coming because Stranger Things isn't just a TV show. It's a hostage situation where we're all too emotionally attached to leave. Legacy? Oh, just a casual global phenomenon that turned random 80s songs into Billboard #1 hits 40 years too late. Half your wardrobe is probably vintage now because you binge one season and thought, yeah, I could pull off corduroy and tube socks. It taught us that friendship is stronger than evil, that kids with walkie-talkies are more competent than government agencies, and that no matter how many gates to hell you open, small-town property values somehow stay the same. Safe to say, this show didn't just bring back the 80s, it wrapped it in a death curse, gave it a baseball bat full of nails, and let a bunch of traumatized teenagers save the world over and over again because adults were too busy being useless. And honestly, we wouldn't have it another way. Do you think Stranger Things is overrated, or did it actually redefine sci-fi? Share your thoughts in the comments, like and share if you agree, and if you're into mind-bending shows, check out Rick and Morty in the previous video. Subscribe now!